Kelly, we're out here live in the Eagle Ridge community where the golf club is dealing with a lot of damage. You see just a mess of these golf carts right here. One of them on two wheels and this cabin with no roof after an EF1 tornado. Next on NBC2, we're going to show you the damage that surrounding neighbors are dealing with today. NBC2 is all over breaking coverage right now at 4:30. We are live at the Eagle Ridge community in South Fort Myers where an EF1 tornado ripped through just before 6:30 this morning, causing extensive damage. The National Weather Service projects $500,000 in damages. So right here, I want to show you the strength of this tornado. You can see this stop sign right here, almost parallel to the ground. Right before my photographer, we have a large tree branch on the ground. You can see a lot going on in this community right now. Neighbors working together as well as workers picking up debris. If I can ask my photographer to come down here, you can see a lot of neighbors and workers have piled up debris right at the edge of their yards for trash collection to easily come through. You see down in the distance there, about 3 houses down, we have some neighbors with gloves on, getting their hands dirty, trying to make this neighborhood look a little bit more beautiful after the tornado ripped through. A scary way for a lot of people to wake up this morning. One person that we showed you at 11 o'clock said he was drinking a cup of coffee on his lanai. He had to go inside, and thank goodness he did because it was very dangerous. We do have one minor injury to confirm from this tornado. That was from shattered glass. Here's another eyewitness who lived through it.
It just came through. It was just unbelievable. I mean, our cage came down and we have three royal palms in the front yard that one of them came down.
Yeah, palm tree actually came down at this house right here. You're looking at the homeowner. I was just talking to him before we went live. Here, let's get out of the way of this FedEx truck right here. But I was just talking to him before we went live. He said he's lucky that his house isn't damaged. He does have some minor damage to his garage, but it wasn't from the tree coming down. That has since been removed. But if we can pull up some video just of a broader perspective showing you the power of this storm and how it's decimated this neighborhood, you can see down trees are the norm in the Eagle Ridge community. Signs like the stop sign that I just showed you, no match for this tornado, and golf carts taking the brunt of Mother Nature as well. So back out here live, I have to note that it's impossible not to notice the drop in humidity as well as a mild drop in temperature, which are just some of the factors that led up to this EF1 tornado. We're also still feeling a few gusts of winds, obviously nothing like we saw in the morning, but I want to bring in the expert here, our first alert meteorologist, Rob Duns, with more on when we can expect the wind to subside and what exactly led up to this, Rob.
Heavy forecast coming up in just a few minutes. Back to you.
All right, Rob, we look forward to that. Of course, the cleanup process underway here in the Eagle Ridge community. A tough thing right before the holidays. People have a very busy schedule and they now have even more work to do. But I do want to just give some perspective. When you look at what happened in Kentucky and how many people died from the string of tornadoes there, of course, this was an EF1 tornado, which is a weak tornado, but you see the extensive damage caused by it. And right now, we only have a report of one minor injury, so we have to be so thankful for that, and hopefully that continues as we learn more in the coming hours and days. We will be back here live at 5 o'clock, but for now, we'll send it back to you guys at the desk. The CenturyLink Sports Complex is closed, as is the Lee County Department of Health site on Michigan Avenue. The tent was blown over at the CenturyLink Sports Complex. Porta potties also knocked over. Organizers there are sending you to the curative sites if you want to get a COVID-19 test, which I know a lot of you, especially with the holiday gatherings coming up right now, are prioritizing. We have all the places that you can get a test listed on our NBC2 News app under VaxFacts. But back out here live, we are continuing to track what's happening in this neighborhood as they assess the damage. A lot of people out. You see crews working to clear debris right now. Neighbors coming together trying to help pick up the mess left behind from this EF1 tornado. We are speaking with people here trying to get personal stories, and we'll give you a new look at the damage coming up at 4:30.
NBC2 anchor Nate Foy is live from the Eagle Ridge community where people are cleaning up already.
That's right, Kelly. Sorry for the engine noise here, but we have crews still cleaning up. A really scary way for people to wake up here in South Fort Myers just before 6:30 this morning. The EF1 tornado making its way through. Again, the path only 1.3 miles, the width about 50 yards, half the length of a football field, but the wind's 95 miles an hour, and you can see causing destruction. Take a look. This stop sign, you can see no match for the powerful winds. Up here, we have some siding that's about 20 yards up a tree. It started south of here again, moved north through the Eagle Ridge community, just causing lots of destruction along the way. The tornado touched down just east of Metro Parkway and 6 Mile Cypress. Again, on the ground for less than 1.5 miles. That's all it took to cause all this damage. Within the past few minutes, NBC2 has brand new video of damage from the Briarcliff neighborhood where the tornado first touched down. Again, not far from where I'm standing right now. You can see a Jeep is going to need a lot of body work, and the person who owns that Jeep, unfortunately, one of a few people who are dealing with damage today. So we want to send you to the Briarcliff community where, again, cars are damaged. We're seeing trees on the ground, power lines knocked around. NBC2's Gage Golding has been talking with people impacted by this EF1 tornado. Gage, what are you seeing there? Yeah, Gage, I'm sure those 15 seconds felt like an eternity. Back out here live at the Eagle Ridge Golf Club where you're hearing a lot of those similar sounds, crews working to clear all this debris. And we are continuing to ask you to send in pictures to the NBC2 newsroom because it helps us tell the story of this EF1 tornado and, most importantly, its effects and the aftermath. We have a picture from San Carlos Park you should be looking at where you can see a roof is ripped off. You can see down into the insulation. Again, please keep sending in any damage. We hope it's not your home, but if you come across some damage, please send it in and we will put it on air. Last night, NBC2 warned you that maybe you should bring in your Christmas decorations in preparation for these conditions. A Northeast Cape Coral family maybe wishes that they listened to that advice, because take a look. On the left of your display is what it looked like last night, and on the right, you can see what it looks like today. You can see the family has to do a little cleanup to stay in the Christmas spirit. More damage to show you from this EF1 tornado. This is right next to us, just off Daniels Parkway at Audubon Cove. Trees are down. You can see screens are ripped apart. Back out here live, if there's some good news, I can tell you that I did speak to the officials here, the people running this Eagle Ridge golf course. They say that the driving range is where you're seeing the most extensive damage, and there are obviously trees downed on the course, but they say that it will just take time for crews to pick all those trees up. The actual damage to the golf course itself is not that bad, considering how bad this could have been. We want to send it over to Ashley Graham, who is also in this same community, but she's been here all day, and she's been speaking to people directly impacted by this tornado. Ashley, you mentioned the community coming together in wake of this EF1 tornado. I'm seeing a lot of the same here. I just walked the streets and I saw a lot of neighbors collecting debris on their neighbors' yards, pushing it out for trash collection. It's great to see that for sure. But I do want to bring in the expert here on our NBC2 team, our first alert meteorologist, Rob Duns. Rob, the National Weather Service released a report about this EF1 tornado, including all the specifics and all the data and the conditions leading up to what we saw today. What are you learning about that?
Yeah, well, if you were...
The roof has extensive damage, and then to my right, you see the driving range. What was the driving range? The netting completely torn apart, structural poles also down. It's going to take a long time to rebuild, but I do have some good news. The Eagle Ridge Golf Club is going to be open for golfers tomorrow, and I want to bring in the head pro here, Jim Robinson, to talk about what you guys are going through today. Jim, thank you so much for coming on. I apologize for what you guys are dealing with. Just if you could, for our viewers, explain what you have ahead of you in terms of cleaning up. Well, Jim, good luck to you. Thank you for coming on.
You're welcome.
Again, the golf club will be open for golfers tomorrow. That's the damage that we're seeing here. But around the golf course, a lot of homes are seeing extensive damage as well. And NBC2's Ashley Graham has been speaking with homeowners directly impacted by this EF1 tornado. Ashley, what are you learning?